Hello, everybody. We're finally live. Vincent McFarland here, candidate for councilman 2026, City of Wayne. We are, well, let's just say we have our petition in. The people have overwhelmingly spoken. And people are fed up. People are fed the fuck up with the shit show that is the City of Wayne, Michigan. People are fed the fuck up. That's all that I know, guys. That is the I can take away. Young, old, black, white, gay, straight. Doesn't matter. People are tired of the City of fucking Wayne. So tired, in fact, that a lot of people, sadly, are leaving the City of Wayne. They're selling their houses and they're moving. Many of them actually, not by choice. They've been pushed out of their own city that they've lived in their whole lives. And they live in, we'll just say neighborhoods that are the most affordable, right? And these people, some cases been here 30, 40, 50 years. And one lady, 60 years. And they're being pushed out of their community in Wayne, Michigan, right? So we can fund a dog shit garbage police department that shouldn't even honestly exist at this point, because I don't know what this fucking serves. I'm still trying to figure that out. I've yet to see the City of Wayne actually, do anything at all, right? From the police department or the fire department for that matter, right? Because how you think you're gonna come back from these 5 warrantless break-ins of my property to harass and embarrass and intimidate and threaten me like you did to Mark Blackwell, but you turned it up to level times 10 with me, right? You did the Blackwell thing, but then instead of going to the circuit court, to the county prosecutor, you kept it in-house, right? You thought you were gonna get away with it in-house. Well, how's that working out for you, bitches? Now you got a discovery order to deal with, a preservation order to deal with, that I'm gonna ram so fucking far down your goddamn motherfucking throats that you're gonna choke on it for the rest of your lives. And you deserve it. Because what you did to me, you see how I'm acting? You see how fired up and pissed off I am? Well, I'm very passionate. I spent the entire day going house to house, talking to people in the City of Wayne, right? Talking to them about, what they're doing and, what would they like to see, right? Actually going and knocking on doors. And it's called, what do they call it? Servant leadership. That's what they call it. I learned that at Georgia Military College. Well, haven't seen any of it in the City of Wayne. Never seen any of it. But that's about to change, guys. So we had 3 people coming. Myself, my wife, and Elsa Zamora, and then we have 4 more other people, right? Because we're running all these dog shit people out of town, because that's what they are. They're the City of Wayne is comprised of people of low moral character, right? The administration, and they only hire people of low moral character. That is one of the things that they specifically seek out, because you can't have truth tellers, you can't have truth seekers, and you can't have people that are willing to call a spade a fucking spade, right? People that are willing to stand up for what's right. Which, granted, it's not hard to stand up for what's right, but you got to be willing to take the shots. You got to have courage, right? And I found 2 people that fit that mold. I have 4 more in mind, and I'm going to put an entire change, a generational change, in, because that's, just desperately what we need. From people that I spoke with. I was heartbroken today. I was pissed off today, right? All the senior citizens that are still working in this country, and all the senior citizens, why are they still working? Because the parasites in Wayne, Michigan, with their fucking tax bills, their sham government. That's why these people are still working, because they can't afford to not work. Because the City of Wayne triples their fucking tax bill, and they've done nothing to else. Because they want to drive people out of the city, right? People that they don't like or people that they don't want, so they can, double or triple or quadruple the taxes. And, that, I guess we're just going to quadruple taxes forever, right? I guess there's no end to it, right? Because, exponential growth eventually occurs. And then, what is that? That $4,000 tax bill turns into a $12,000, and then that turns into a $36,000. And then you get the picture, right? It just, at some point, we're already in clown world, right? In the City of Wayne. We're already in clown world, right? We have a completely incompetent, worthless city manager, and really a council, right? A council comprised of degenerate people of low moral character, right? In the police department. Now, there are some good cops, Cal Tilmage, and Officer Z, I can't pronounce his last name. He's a Polish guy, right? Two guys in Wayne that are good, honest people, and they from what I can tell, do good, honest work. And they understand what probable cause is, and they don't violate your rights, and they don't attempt to, they don't try to, they don't see what they can get away with and what they can't, you know. They just accept their place in society and in the world at large, and they're like, hey, this is what I'm allowed to do, this is what I'm not allowed to do. I got to follow probable cause, and you know, that's what we consider a good cop, right? And that's, you know, that's what I would consider a peace officer, right? And so have great cordial conversations with those people, amazing conversations with those people. Can have hour-long conversations, great conversations. But you know, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I get triggered when I see these shitbag cops in Wayne harassing people down here on Wayne Road, right? Some young men, right, harassing them. When these shitbag motherfuckers, Sergeant Williams, right, DEI hire Williams, you know, he was the motherfucker who was a supervisor on May 9th, right? He's the one who could have put an end to all that garbage, right? But he didn't. He was a cuck bitch, and he decided that he was gonna maliciously prosecute me. He was gonna go on and get along, right? And so that's what he did. And so there is no respect for that, right? There is no coming. As far as I'm concerned, as a police officer, there's no coming back from that. You're immediately fired. You're never employable here, preferably in the state, right? I'm trying to pass. I am going to propose a citywide legislation that, you know, we've got to take our disciplinary records 100% serious, and we can have less cops and have higher quality cops. We can pay better cops more money, but we can't have this low character shit anymore, guys. I can't deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it, right? I'm going to clean house. That's why I'm running for council, so I can clean fucking house, so we can have a fresh restart, right? A complete and utter restart, and we can get on with our lives here, and we can have a life that is worth living, right, in Wayne, Michigan. Because I talked to so many people in Wayne, Michigan, and I'm going to talk to hundreds more tomorrow, right? And the one thing I can say is people are fed the fuck up. People are fed up. And when you tell them and when you show them about what happened to me and what's happened to other people, they lose their minds, right? Because of the injustices, because of the tyranny, right? And it's like you're being gaslit by the city of Wayne, right? And Kerry Miller and the city attorney, right? And Bosnick, right? They're trying to tell the judge that you're crazy and, you know, everything you're saying has no validity, and, you know, don't believe him, that we're maliciously prosecuting him, even though we can't answer basic questions like, well, which ordinance are you enforcing? What's the ordinance number? You know, can't answer any questions about it because it's a malicious prosecution, because anything they say can and will be used against them, right? And the entire city council knew about it. The entire city council knew about it. Both city attorneys knew about it. The judge knew about it. The chief of police, the deputy chief of police, the fire marshal, the fire chief, the zoning director, right? Larry Gowen, whatever fucking title, made up title she has. But yeah, all the admin, right, on the city council or the city administration, right, on these boards and whatnot, they all knew about it. They were all in on it. They were all in on it, and they all knew about it. And that's why they're hiding the evidence, and that's why they want $541,000, right, for a FOIA for, I think it's like 1 day or 2 days, right, $200 some thousand for a FOIA for 1 day, for July 5th, because the city of Wayne falsely told the court, this is like the 5th time they've lied on the record, Finley Carter and Bosnick told the court at our last hearing that they provided everything. Well, not Finley Carter, he wasn't there, but Bosnick, right, in the hearing before that, right, when Finley Carter was there. They've repeatedly told the judge that, yeah, we've given them, you know, all the discovery, right? And then they lied in the last hearing and said, oh yeah, we gave them discovery for July 5th. We gave them all the body cam, even though there was 3 cops at the scene, 2 of them without name tags, right? The sergeant and the captain, right? And, or the lieutenant rather. And yeah, 1 body cam, but there's 3 officers. Well, that's a bold-faced lie, right? We have that, right? We have all that. So it's just like, you just get to the point, guys, where you really can't deal with it no more, right? Like I can't deal with just blatant corruption, right? Just blatant, not even trying to hide it, not even going to apologize, right? Like too good to apologize to the people of Wayne, too good to apologize to a disabled veteran who served his fucking country honorably, too fucking scum to apologize to that person and his family, right? And his children and his wife, right? And his household members, right? But too scum to even apologize to the community of Wayne, right? All this money, right, that was just wasted and pissed away by the city of Wayne for malicious prosecution, and now they get to go to federal court and deal with that for what? The city gets to deal with that for how many fucking years, right? Half a decade or more. It's just like, you know, people have had a fucking enough, city of Wayne. People have had enough of your fucking, what it is, you know, what it truly is, right? Is it's just Negro bullshit, right? It's just outright Negro fucking jogger bullshit. That's all it is. It's a bunch of jogger bullshit, a bunch of fucking shit that's, like I said, we shouldn't even be dealing with this, right? We should all just be able to unanimously agree, right? If you murder a veteran because he's got a butter knife, you don't work in Wayne no more, right? You don't work in Wayne. You murder anybody over a butter knife, you don't work in Wayne. You just don't, right? Like there's certain things that we need to be able to agree on, right? Like the murder of John Zook Jr. The fact that the city, you know, delayed, you know, the body cam release for as long as they could, right? You know, the Zook family had to sue the city of Wayne to get the footage of the execution of their son. I mean, just think of how fucking sick that is, people. And then these people walk around, right, with their hand on their fucking hip, thinking that they deserve anything other than a fuck you. No. Absolutely not. Over my dead body, over my family's fucking dead body. We're all involved now. And I'm getting everybody involved. We're running all of you scumbags out of fucking Wayne, Michigan, once and for fucking all. John Racy and crew, you're gone. You're done. And that's at best for you, right? Because we're gonna audit and we're gonna look into every fucking thing, and I'm gonna spend every waking breath trying to have you prosecuted for your malicious, vindictive, retaliatory bullshit prosecution that you waged against my family. Yeah, it's fucking war. It's fucking war, guys. And I appreciate all your signatures today. We're going to get dozens and dozens and dozens more tomorrow. And then we're going to submit all our packets real early, right? So, you know, Tina the Llama, right? Tina the Llama Parnell, so she can, you know, make sure it's all whippy snappy, right? What a joke. What a joke the city of Wayne is. But we're about to expose it for the joke that it fucking is. But it's not a joke because it's harming a lot of people. It's harming a lot of people. And a lot of people are being wronged by the city of Wayne, and they're being robbed and they're being pillaged. And they're being frauded, essentially. I mean, you're being charged more and more for taxes, right? You paint your house a different color and now it's worth more money and shit, right? I mean, the city of Wayne, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. And now they're starting to fly drones and shit. They bought a drone and they're starting to use that. No. We're getting rid of all that shit. That's all. We're passing ordinance. We're first of all, we're going to repeal at least half or 2/3, right? This is the goal long term. At least half or 2/3 or more of the ordinances got to go. And then we'll rewrite ones that make sense, right? That protect citizens from the government, right? That protects citizens from the government, not the other way around. We're not going to criminalize citizens for their conduct, right? Because we already have the federal law and the state law for that, and the county laws for that matter. So we're going to have very minimal, you know, ordinance, you know, whatever. We're not going to be we're going to be focused on rights of people. We're going to have like a Bill of Rights of sorts, a constitution. We're going to rewrite the city charter in Wayne, Michigan from the ground up. Because what we have now is dog shit and nobody wants it. Nobody likes it. And it's outdated as fuck. And it was written when the city of Wayne was a village and when it was, you know, homogeneously all white. And, you know, it was a different time. It was a different time. And we didn't have the corrupt bullshit that we have now. Right? There was a more simpler society, a lot more homogenous, a lot more kind of close knit, right? We didn't have all these different groups of people trying to live together. We didn't have a scumbag fucking government like we got now, right? A lot of things, right? A lot of things in Wayne that were different, you know, before the city of Wayne became a city, right? Which city in name only, right? They got to tell you twice on the building. City of Wayne City Hall, right? Because you wouldn't know otherwise. And, it's just pathetic, man. It's fucking pathetic. And the more I talk to people, the more it just confirms what I've known this entire fucking time. And like I said, I mean, I involuntarily spoke to hundreds of people when I moved here because this is the only house that's been built in Wayne in fucking, you know, what, I don't know, 10 years since Al Haynes, right? When did he build his house? In the early 2000s? Hasn't been a new house built here in a long time. So, new person moving in, new house, you know, a lot of people talking. A lot of people asking questions, meeting a lot of people, and I already knew about the city of Wayne, but fuck, I didn't know, a third of what I know now, right? 10% of what I know now. Fuck. But I mean, I'm just scraping the surface, guys. But yeah, I lose my shit when I see the officer who murdered John Zook Jr. and then the city of Wayne fucking covered for his bitch ass, right? His scumbag ass. So that's what the fuck he is, a scumbag piece of shit. That's what he is. I dealt with the motherfucker multiple times on my property. His fucking, it's just nothing about the guy. He broke into my house without warrants. That's in violation of constitutional rights. It's that simple. There's no emergency. There's no consent. There's no warrant. It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. It's that simple. And officers that do that multiple times and murder disabled veterans named John Zook Jr., right? Because they had butter knife, right? No, we first of all, I mean, fire them. That's the least we can do, right? I mean, that's like Jesus Christ. The fact that we can't even. We don't even have a city council that'll fire this piece of shit or fire these piece of shit officers, because we have a lot of piece of shit officers in Wayne, Michigan, and half of the fire department are they're pieces of shit. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, guys. I really just truly don't know how else to put it. You want me to be nice? You want me to say, oh, they're just not meeting satisfactory requirements? No, they're pieces of shit. They have low moral character. They're joggers, right? Joggers, joggers. I hope you have your John Wick moment. Oh, I mean, I stay strapped, motherfucker. Beyond belief. I have to. My wife has to. We all have to. It's a dangerous game to call out corruption and bullshit and fraud, right? That's what it is. Fucking fraud. Chicanery, right? Charles McGill. Chicanery. Yeah, that's what it is. Too much chicanery for one brain to process. And I got a big fucking head and I still can't process all this chicanery. But I'm trying, guys. I'm trying real fucking hard. And I'm going to keep trying until we fucking win. Because like I said, we don't have any services now. Things really, I mean, truly, we're below the bottom of the barrel and everything, metric wise in Wayne County, and really in Michigan at large. I mean, it's just a sad situation over here, but we can turn it around, guys. As a community, we can turn it around. And when you talk to people face to face and you actually go to people's houses and have conversations, you start to learn a lot about people, and you start realizing, well, this town's comprised supposedly of like 17,000 people, right? And I bet you at least 15,000 or more of us, we all think the same way. Probably around 16,000, right? There's some weirdos, Chris Sanders and whatnot, right? Some weird motherfuckers out there. But Chris Sanders ain't even close to being the weirdest motherfucker. Eric Clearyman, right? There's a lot of just weirdo. Rob Darwich, Alfred Brock. That's a weird fucking dude right there. That is a dude that I would not want around anything that I cherish. I wouldn't want him around it. I wouldn't want any of them around anything I cherish. Anyone in the room, I wouldn't want them in there. They're all worthless. They're all just outright just piss poor at their job in every single way. Just horrible. Right? We do not approve. The people does not approve. All right? Trust me. Take my word for it. I'm going to go to every single house in Wayne, Michigan. Some of them multiple fucking times. And I'm going to talk to every single person who's a potential or possible voter in Wayne, Michigan. Registered or not. Even if they're not a voting age, I'll have a conversation with anybody because I'm a bitch, right? But, and I'll let it be live stream, recorded, whatever. I don't care. Because at the end of the fucking day, guys, we gotta at some point advance as a civilization, and we gotta up our quality of life here, because we're only a few square miles here, guys. It's not like these problems are just unfixable and it's just not possible and feasible and it's too high, it's too big of a scale, and it's like, no, it's really not. But yeah, I want to see my neighbors be able to afford to live, right? I want to see them go on vacation. I want to see them have children. I want to see them save for retirement. I want to see them, you know, all that stuff, right? And unfortunately, the city of Wayne, just, you know, half the properties in Wayne are now rental properties, right? It's transient community in you know, a lot of houses, but not every house. The people that live here are the people that, you know, have their stake here. We've had enough. We're not impressed. I asked, I mean, hundreds of people. Spoke to hundreds of people today, and I couldn't find a single person. Well, I found one lady. She didn't have anything bad to say, but she didn't have anything good to say. But I've never yet met a single person in Wayne, Michigan, who has anything positive to say about anybody on the city council whatsoever. Anything they've done, any accomplishments, any achievements, right? Anything interesting? Nothing. Absolutely fucking zilch, nada, nothing. Just a worthless, pathetic, anemic joke, right? A fucking just, I mean, and it's sad, right? Because City of Wayne's got tremendous potential. Tremendous potential. We're gonna untap it. We're gonna untap it, guys. We have to. We've got to get rid of this dog shit, this garbage, man. It's got to go, man. Priority waste. We got to take the trash out, man. Well, I know someone who works at Priority Waste. She's very high up there, and she don't have no problem taking out the trash either. So, yeah, we gotta get rid of this garbage council, and then all these people in Wayne, they all got to get fired, because we're gonna replace the council with people that think like me, think like my wife, think like Elsa Zamora, and think like the other people that were, you know, gonna line up for 2028. Because we're done with this garbage. We are so done with this garbage, right? That's all you need, right? Malicious prosecution of a disabled veteran, over 90 some days in jail, 93, 94 days in jail, right? Plus house arrest, right? How many months of house arrest? I don't even know. 5-6 months of incarceration, right? Over a bonfire pit. Okay. Yeah, here's my response to that. Yeah, let me get the long strokes going, right? Yeah. Let me really drag it out for you. A fucking joke. But you guys keep me pumped up. You guys keep me motivated. I appreciate the people of Wayne, Michigan. I appreciate all my neighbors, right? And I don't say that term neighbor in a legal sense, because a neighbor is technically only someone who you share an adjacent property line with. But my neighbors at large, right? My fellow Wayniacs, right? I'm not going to use the term Wayno, because that's just, I don't know. I don't really like it. But Wayniac, I like my fellow Wayniacs. So only so much a Wayniac can take, right? Before we snap and we say enough's enough. And we're past that point. We've honestly, truly been past that point for, I would say, the community at large. When they murdered John Zook Jr., Grimbrowski, right? The same piece of shit that I confronted tonight, right? And you know, just let them know how I felt. Right? Redressed my grievances and recorded a encounter that, you know, they pulled somebody over in public. So I'm in public, and I figure, fuck it, why not check this out? I have a right to live stream this. I have a right to record, and I have a right to redress my grievances. Right? So, yep, that's how we roll, guys. That's how we roll. We don't fucking care about anything else other than getting to the bottom of what's going on in Wayne, Michigan, and getting some accountability and transparency. That's all we want. We just want the right thing being done, right? We want to employ, and we want to foster an environment of people of high moral character, high integrity, high moral character, and then our community will flourish, because its leadership will be of the most abundant transparency and accountability, and high moral character. Because that, you know, okay, I'm going to take out the white men part of, you know, this country was originally for property owning men of high moral character, right? Now we can take out property owning and white males, right? We'll take that out. But I think, yeah, I think high moral character needs to be at the forefront. I do agree with the founding fathers on that part. You know, I do agree to most extent, right, on the property owning aspect of it, right? The white part, I don't think you gotta be white to own property and, to vote, right? That was like if you wanted to vote and shit, but I'm not saying you gotta be of high moral character to vote, right? Although I think it wouldn't hurt, right, guys? Probably that, yeah, I kind of think that should be a requirement, but that's not what I'm proposing. But yeah, I'm proposing that we structure our government of people of high moral character, high integrity, people that are willing to do the right thing, and the right thing being, well, what's best for the city at large, right? Well, what's best for the city at large is transparency and accountability and honesty, right? I mean, that's just like the shit goes without saying. Right now, what people do in their spare time, oh, this guy said that, that's all bullshit. That's not what, the focus is about the policies, about bringing people together and helping those in need. Because there's a lot of people in Wayne, Michigan that are struggling, and I know those on the council, they'll pay lip service to it, right? But to put your money where your mouth is, it's a bit of a different game. So the thing is we're not proposing a game here. We're just proposing like, hey, we want a clean house and give the city back to the taxpayers, to the people that, fund it, right? And keep it going, right? So, I mean, I don't know if that makes me a Republican, Democrat, what, Libertarian, Green Party, whatever, but I'm just an independent. I'm just an independent thinker. And, I just want to take Wayne and foster what we need to foster and turn it into an example for the rest of the state of Michigan, because the state of Michigan at large is fucked up, and we need to kind of try some things on a smaller scale and see what works, see what doesn't, and then kind of hopefully it'll catch on, right? But we can't worry about the rest of the state. I mean, ultimately we have to take care of ourselves and our yard and our household and our neighbors, right? And try to be a positive example for the rest of the metro, the rest of the county, and the rest of the state, and potentially the rest of the country and the rest of the world. Because this isn't about vengeance, but this is about accountability and transparency. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go drill sergeant mode on these people. I'm not gonna tolerate these abuses of power, right? In these unjustifiable, without probable cause prosecutions, right? These malicious, vindictive, probable causeless prosecutions. And you don't get to do that and then remain in Wayne and just keep peddling the status quo. Like we don't, we make the status quo eat crow in Wayne, and those that violate our rights in Wayne don't remain. So if you're going to wear that fucking uniform and you're going to take that oath, well, then we're going to hold you to it. And, we're going to praise you when you do good work, real good work. But when you catastrophically fuck up, we're going to fire you at the very least. Or discipline you, right? I mean, fuck. But, any normal person hearing this is like, well, yeah, duh, no shit, right? Like, that's common sense. But unfortunately, as you guys know all too well, that's not yeah, we have people with the same mindset joining. We have 2, we're gonna have 4 more. So I mean, whoever wants to fight for their position on the council is more than welcome, but I'll put 2 challengers up against them. I'll circulate the petitions. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck, right? I will circulate my petitions strapped to the motherfucking gills, right? I don't give a fuck about these bums. When I say I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck about these bums, their feelings, what they're gonna do, I don't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? I've had 0 fucking alcohol tonight. I'm just pissed off. I'm just fired up. I've been house to house all day. I'm exhausted. And then I had the unfortunate reality when I was driving through town, had to stumble upon those worthless fucks, Grombrowski and Sergeant Williams. Well, you're gonna be Sergeant bitch. You're gonna be Sergeant the fuck out of here. Go fucking parasite somewhere else. Go violate somebody else's rights. You're not doing it at 48184. You're not doing it in this fucking zip code. So I don't care how long I got to be on the council, guys. I will see it through to the very fucking end. You might as well start getting on LinkedIn and Indeed, and you might as well skip the fuck up out of here. Bottom line. Bottom fucking line. So, yeah, special meetings. And again, fuck Kerry Miller and fuck Michael Bosnick. All worthless parasites. And you're not going to be employed by the city of Wayne much longer either. So, city of Wayne, really, like I said again, based on the advice, based on how shitty the charter is, based on just how dysfunctional the city of Wayne is, there's other people out there, there's other companies out there, and I mean, honestly, I mean, there's got to be a way to contract somebody cheaper via Zoom, right? Because, I mean, anybody can be more competent than Bosnick or Miller. I mean, those two are a fucking joke. Fucking jokes. Worthless fucking jokes. But they're expensive, though. They're expensive jokes, guys. Make no mistake about it. They're very real. The consequences of their shitty decisions are very real. And, yeah, we're not stopping at nothing. So we're not going to keep quiet. We're going to, like I said, again, just get like-minded people to join the cause and see where it takes us. So America first, America only, Wayne first, and Wayne only. So, and homeowners, right? Homeowners and families and renters and everybody, right? We anyone who lives here who shares these boundaries, right? We want your voice to be heard, and we want you to be able to at least express yourself, right? At least be able to know that people hear you and people are really, truly trying, right? Because right now we have the complete and utter and total opposite of that. So, and thankfully there's thousands of other people in Wayne, Michigan, over 10,000 or more people in Wayne, Michigan who share similar thoughts and beliefs. So what can I say, guys? What can I say other than tomorrow is another day, and we petition our asses off early and often, and kids will be in school. Kids are out of school, and babysitters are already arranged, and Mama Burgos has got it covered, and Mama Zamora, and what can I say, guys? Should have stayed off my property. That's what you should have done. You should have listened to me when I told you, hey, don't violate my rights. Please leave. Please go to the sidewalk. I'll talk to you there. And you guys said, fuck you. Well, you got nobody to blame but yourself, City of Wayne. But it's for the best, right? Because now the people of Wayne can actually get competent and at least honest, right? Transparent representation. I can't promise really anything, but I can say we're going to fight like hell and bring back common sense if there ever was any in Wayne. I'm sure there was at some point. I'm sure the people who founded Wayne and Derby's, what do they call it? Derby's Corner? Derby's Corners? Yeah. Well, we're going to try to honor our ancestors here. We're going to try to, clean the city up and bring some hope back to it, bring some pep back to it, and some different ideas, some innovation, right? Some out of the box thinking, right? I know, crazy idea, right? Crazy idea. Crazy ideas. No, they're not really crazy at all. They seem crazy because, our federal, state, and local governments, right, county governments and whatnot, they've all gotten so crazy that anything that's challenging that is like seen as some sort of like sovereign citizen argument or something, because people are we're so kind of conditioned at this point as a society to be abused, right, by our governments, by our so-called leadership, right? Hopefully people with the same mindset. I pray the people of Wayne come together and back you all the way. Well, that's the thing. We don't need everybody. You know, we of course we want to get as many supporters as humanly possible. Of course, I mean, but we understand that some people aren't going to want to be involved, or some people are going to disagree, or some people are going to, unfortunately, be on the other side. So that's not something we can control. We can just continue to spread the message of hope and the message of truth and the message of justice and accountability. At the end of the day, it's accountability 007, baby. Versace Vince, Ray-Ban Vince, deucing out. I gotta go kiss my beautiful children and my beautiful wife. I hope you all have had a great time here. Hope you learned something. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I'm new to this, and I'm really out of my element, guys. I'm really a recluse, but I'm just, I realize, if not now, when? If not me, who? Right? That's what I think a lot about, guys. Is it's not that I want to do this. I really, I truly don't. But something's got to give in Wayne, and I just can't sit by idly like I am in my car and do nothing, right? I have to be. Boy Wonder has to be the voice of reason, but Boy Wonder at least, acts in good faith and ask questions, good-hearted, good faith, substantive questions, right? Questions that compel answers. Questions that, well, you get the picture, guys, but I'm going to let you go, guys. I appreciate all the support. Thank you again. We'll talk soon.